Now, back to the Psychology of Spirit.
Your life makes a beautiful painting that won't be done until the day you die. Your painting will be perfect, full of many moods and colors. It'll be perfect like you. This perfection I speak of, this beauty I speak of, is the muddled up mess known as life. It's all in how we think about it. Oh gosh, AuKeeRa, when I come home and my kids are screaming and I gotta cook and I gotta clean the house and I just don't find it so beautiful. I hear ya. Trust me. I hear you. That's why I'm saying find one simple thought to insert. When you say to yourself, I just had enough, I can't do this right now, say to yourself, I hear you. In 15 minutes, they'll all be in bed and I'm going to sit down and relax. Oh, God, I don't have time. I am relaxing no matter what you say for 10 minutes. I'm sitting down and I'm putting my feet up. Bottom line here, we need to be our own advocate. This is your life. You are the only one living it. When we seek things past life, when we seek things bigger than life, we tend to take the focus off living. When we decide that we need to do more, we're putting more stress on ourselves than what we have already. Why? Why do we do this? I watch people all the time have all this on my plate and then say to me, with all this on my plate, what more can you add? Do I need to study this? Do I need to maybe start eating this way? And I say, hold on. Look at the plate that you have. Isn't it enough right now? How about we simply learn to enjoy the plate we've been given? How about you decide that you don't need to add any more, that you don't need to do any more research or studying? No, what you have right now is enough. And there will be time later if there's things to be added to that plate of life. Some people feel that deflates them. Oh, all I have is my family, my job. And I can't really afford to get the new wardrobe, you know. Remember what I said about not being grateful for what we've been given? Why not say, all I have is my family. And thankfully I have a job. And I'm so glad I have the wardrobe I do. Because I'll make that wardrobe look good. It's just the shift of thought. But like I said, AuKeeRa, when you come home to this household, it's crazy. But you are the one who had the children. They are your gift. You're the one who chose to enter in a marriage. It's also your gift. And as soon as we don't see those things as our gift, they become burdens. And again, it's a thought. Oh, but you should be in my marriage. Oh, my goodness. Remember, it takes two to fight people. It takes two to send out that feeling of, I really don't want to be here. And when we don't want to be in our own life, where exactly do we think we're going to go? You're in your life. Every day you're there. You can't leave you. And if you don't like you, oh boy, it's going to be kind of a messy life. You are stuck with you. Always. Don't you want to be your best friend rather than being hard on yourself every day? Yes, the ego is going to be hard on you. Do you need to jump on the same wagon? Or would you like maybe a prettier wagon? Something that has a different point of view. These are all your choices. Your choices. So when you walk through the door and the kids are going crazy and you've got supper to make, you've got to keep telling yourself, my time will come. Why? Because I give myself permission to have that time. And if your time happens to be fantasizing about a holiday somewhere beautiful and warm while you're switching and folding laundry, then you know what, that's enough. Because it's been proven that in our imagination, if we submerge ourselves in it, it affects us physiologically. That means it will bring you calmness. It means it will serve you. So if you don't have time to sit down and put your feet up and you are on the run all day, then remember, your mind is your playground. When you are doing mundane tasks that have to be done simply because that's the way your life is right now, free up your mind and think about something that just feels good. Why? Why not? It'll make you feel good. Well, then I'm just going through the motions of my life. It's not enough. It needs to be bigger. Again, I ask, how much bigger did you want it? You're alive, for heaven's sakes. You have everything around you that you see right now. You created everything around you that you see right now. What's wrong with that? Can't you give yourself credit where credit's due? You feel every day. You breathe every day. What more are you searching for? Well, sometimes I just don't think I'm that good of a parent. But aren't you doing your best? Well, I think I could be doing better. Can you give yourself credit for what you've done already? What if I wreck my kids? Our kids don't come with an instruction manual, and trust me, we all feel like fish out of water when we're parenting. We all have concerns that, what if I just didn't do enough? But we're forgetting the universe is on our child's side too. That child has a mosaic that they are also creating of their lives. Their painting is also in the making, and we are blessed enough to have been placed in their painting of life. And even if we make mistakes, their painting is still going to be beautiful. And remember, there's no such thing as a mistake, ever. We're always doing the best we can at that time. In that split second of life, we are doing our best. If we look at our childhoods, they weren't perfect either. Not in accordance to society. And depending what age group you are, today's society would say, oh my gosh, you were treated like that? Society is kind of missing a few points. Because in society's eyes, no matter what, we will never be enough, ever. We will never be where we're meant to. Because society, as soon as you get there, throws you into the curve and says, well, you should also have this. Have you ever seen any one person live up to all of society's standards and then not be systematically torn down by society by them picking on something different? You have to decide what your standard's on for you, your personal integrity level. You have to decide that your life is enough and not judge it by society's views. And this does not mean rebellion. Acceptance is the way here. I accept who I am. I accept that what I'm doing is enough. I believe in myself. When we get in our own corner, we naturally perpetuate life. We don't become complacent. We are willing to try new things. We are willing to push our boundaries. Why? Because we believe in ourselves. We aren't waiting for someone else to come along and say, oh, good for you, and pat us on the back. We know we're good enough. We know we're capable. We know we are always doing our best by our standards. And trust me, I know human beings, and we always set our standards really, really high. And people look at other people and say, oh, well, what about that person who just doesn't want to do anything with their lives? But they're not listening to this show. And they are not where you are right now. But they are exactly where they need to be. So you don't need to judge them on that, and you don't need to gauge yourself by their actions. The only person you have to be satisfied with is you. And remember, your ego will never be satisfied. But once you get in your own corner, and are satisfied and grateful for what you have, life takes a turn. When somebody says you're not spiritual enough or you have a higher purpose, you have enough thought in your head to say, what the universe has given me right now is enough, and I'm so grateful. When somebody comes up and says, your belief system is off, you should believe more, you smile at them, and you say in your own head, I know that what you believe is right for you, and where I am is right for me. You don't suddenly feel beneath somebody, because it's all relative. If other people believe that we are supposed to be somewhere else, that is their right. If they believe that their world needs more, that is their right. And if you believe that you are meant to have more, accept where you are right now, and look at the list I was talking about at the beginning of the show, then take the small steps to start that path. But don't do it deciding your life that you have isn't enough. We are always adding, always evolving. Things naturally fall away. But everything is always exactly where it's meant to be. Everything is always perfect, whole, and complete. Every experience is always serving a purpose to get us to where we're going next, to experience the next thing. People say we are in a state of learning, but actually we're born perfect, whole, and complete, and we die perfect, whole, and complete. So truly, what are we here to learn? We born spirit, we die spirit, we go home. We don't need to be bigger than who we are. We need to realize how big we actually are already. We need to stand in the mirror and say, you know what, wow, this is incredible. I'm washing the floor, and I can actually wash the floor. Oh, AuKeeRa, you're silly, but I'm serious. If you have the right to clean your house, you have a house to clean. You've been gifted that vacuum cleaner. Oh, well, I bought it. Where do you think the money came from? Everything here is funded by the universe, and we are all a part of that universe. And everything, no matter how tiny, is still a gift, is still a miracle. Our world tells us the miracles are far and few between. I disagree. I'm walking right now. That's a miracle. I'm talking to you all right now. That's a miracle. I can see outside. That's a miracle. I'm warm in my home. That's a miracle. And for me, they're incredible. Life is phenomenal. And when we decide it's not enough, that is simply a thought. And that's where I refer back to a thought can change everything. One simple thought can make your life enough or something that you can never attain. One simple thought. That's too easy, but it's all it is. We'll talk more in a moment.